Hi there, it's Nicole, and I'm back with the second Super Saver layout for the September 2013 Super Sketch Club kit. I will provide a link below for where I get these kits from. I think a lot of people have heard of Scrapbook Generation. They are a brick and mortar store as well as an online scrapbook store, and they offer kit subscriptions. Different than like HipKit and Click Kits and Studio Calico and all that. Instead of giving you bunch of supplies and you sort of go off on your own, these are more layout kits where you're following directions, you're following a sketch. You could completely do your own thing if you wanted to. I am sort of a deep dark nerd at heart, and if you give me directions I will giggle internally because following directions is like my favorite thing in the world. I actually enjoy assembling Target furniture. That's like soothing to me. So I I watch people on YouTube who do subscribe to those kit clubs where you get like a bunch of product and you kind of do your own thing, and I just look at it and I think, "Oh my gosh, what would you do?" Like I always, I'm always following a sketch, or I'm scrap lifting somebody, or I'm following directions, and then every once in a while I'll kind of do my own thing. So for me, these kits are great. And like here you can see sometimes I will add something extra like stamping or enamel dots, sequins, extra stickers, stuff like that. And I am a big fan of how fast you can get layouts completed with these kits. And I do like that for the most part, especially the Super Savers portion, you're for the most part using full-size photos. A lot of times, like you can see on the bottom two photos that I have, I will squeeze in more photos by doing two 3x4s on one 4x6 print. So when I know I'm going to be doing a bunch of these kits, I will go through my photos and sort of figure out what I want to use, edit them, especially if I'm making smaller sizes or putting some more than one photo on a 4x6. I'll do all of that in Photoshop Elements and then upload them to print. And a lot of times, I think lately I've been using Shutterfly, mostly because I had a bunch of Huggies reward points that I was able to turn in for free prints. And then I think the last time I printed, I did one of those things where you pay a certain number and or a certain amount of money, and you get like a set number of prints, and it ends up being cheaper than if you had just uploaded your photos and said, okay, I want 100 prints. Somehow it worked out to being cheaper, like you bought almost like the idea of like a punch card. So that was what I had done last time, and it mostly because when I print through Shutterfly, they are true 4x6. They're not like that weird, like it's always 4 inches, but then it's never quite 6 inches on the other side, and it drives me nuts. And it's mostly because of these kits. You're like most of the Super Savers, you are spanning your photos from edge to edge, and it drives me nuts when I have to trim down my cardstock. Like I will do it because it looks better, but at the same time I'm like, please don't advertise that I'm getting a 4x6 print when it's not a 4x6 print. Like I understand if you put it in a 4x6 frame, it looks great, but it's not a 4x6 when you're putting it on paper. And most of this kit you were using cut aparts for your embellishments. That busy pattern paper, we had cut some stuff out of for embellishments, and then there was a die cut sheet where you punched out the pieces, and those are those little black embellishments over on the side of my desk. So it's a good way to kind of learn how to stretch your supplies, because typically they will send you 4 pattern papers, 6 cardstocks, and some type of embellishment, whether it's a 12x12 sticker sheet, a pack of die cuts, something that you're going to be spreading across the 3 pages. And so it's kind of a good way to learn how to kind of do that in your stash. And a lot of times you can reuse the sketches and just pull from your stash. And here you can see I had a helper arrive. She recognized herself in some of the photos and asked if she could help. So a lot of times I will put foam tape on stuff and let her peel it off, and then I kind of line it up and tell her to smush it down, and she kind of feels like she gets to participate. And then usually by the time I'm done with that, she's kind of over it and begging me to go downstairs and we go find something else to do. So putting foam tape on stuff and putting it on the layout is kind of something that doesn't bother me if she, smushes it, 'cause usually you can kind of lift it up real quick and fix it if you need to. And then the only thing I had left to do, I printed my journaling into strips for all of these layouts that I had done. I ended up doing 22 double page layouts within a 2-week period. It was like a challenge to get as many as you could get done. So I would do them in batches. I'd sit down and I'd do all of the paper and photos. I'd come back and do the embellishments, and then I'd come back and do the journaling, and I would kind of do them in groups. And it just kind of worked out better. I kind of feel like it was slower if I had to stop and type up the journaling, and then I was wasting paper, and so I would just type up as much as I could fit on one sheet of cardstock, and I was getting about 7 or 8 layouts on a full sheet of cardstock. So I would just kind of keep my document open, and I type up my journaling in between layouts, and then when I got done, I just print it out, pull my layouts back out, and just put the journaling on all at once. So it kind of streamlined the process for me. And then this one, I just went ahead and added some gold glitter enamel dots, and I did this for all 3 layouts, so they kind of had the same addition to it. I think this was the only one that I did stamping other than the date on, though. So look forward for the 3rd layout in this series, and I will catch you guys next time.